to have something that is branded and grown and harvested and smoked within our community and out into the big box store like Walmart, coming right from Klemtu, is pretty amazing. I am Roxanne Robinson. First of all, before any of my titles, I am a mother. I have 2 beautiful children. Our community, Kitasoo Xai'xais Nation, is 2 tribes that have come together, the Kitasoo and the Xai'xais. They have come together hundreds of years ago. We are a small community located on the central coast of British Columbia, and we have a population of about 380 people. Fish farming has been a part of who we are since the 80s. We started out with these small locally owned farms. Just to see the developments over the years is really amazing.
Klemtu Spirit is a 4-year-old brand that was based on our partnership with Mowi Canada West and the Kitasoo Xai'xais Nation. This industry has worked with us for the last 30 years. Innovation is key for all the overall development of its partnership between Kitasoo Xai'xais and Mowi Canada West. The goal is to continue growing nationwide at this point to get into every store. At this point, Klemtu Spirit is going from East Coast to West Coast and Walmarts and Metros, and we're hoping to expand that overall brand between other companies that are able to provide this type of product. I would say the overall industry has created stability within the community. We've reached a 99% employment rate. 51% of our economy is based on the aquaculture industry, and it reflects on our overall well-being within our community. People have the basic things that are required, being it a home, money in their pockets, food on their plates, and it creates that comfort too. And so this industry, plus Klemtu Spirits being a major part of it now, have been able to create more stability and more jobs consistently for our community.
I work with Mowi West at the Klemtu feed station here, monitoring all the feeding. The site is a 45-minute ride from here. This site I'm feeding right now. Feeding the cages out at the fish farm site with cameras, underwater cameras and surface cameras. The setup has a alarm on it showing when the pellets are going to sew up, when the fish are going to slow down and done feeding. Working at the site when the band had a site ran in the same area where we're working now, we didn't have the technology we have today to monitor the fish. When the fish are harvested out, we move to another site and let that site go back to its natural state that it was before and give it time to recuperate in that area.
The feeding part is the most critical part. The largest cost for industry is food, to feed the fish. And so how do you manage that? When Kelly's feeding them, the feed is slowly floating down as either the fish will eat it or the AI will capture the pellet at a certain level. So the camera's at a certain level within the pen, and if it hits that mark, it'll indicate that to Kelly. And so basically, Kelly will know if there's less pellets, that means the fish are very hungry. If there's more pellets, it means they're slowing down. And so that gives them an indication, okay, I better stop. I better slow down on the overall feed on this side.
The way that it has evolved over the past few decades with this partnership with Mowi has really been remarkable. They've looked at the age group of who is employed through the fish farms and in a fish plant, and we're mindful towards our elders who are employed there and how it will be more gentler on them, but still creating an economic opportunity for them. There's many lifelong friendships that form through the farming and our local community.
My name is Pam Chalmers, and I work for Mowi Canada West here in Klemtu, BC, at the Kitasoo Seafoods plant. We are in partnership with the Kitasoo Village and Band to process farmed Atlantic salmon. We do smoking here. Our product is Klemtu Spirit. That's a smoked individual portion sold in Canada and hopefully soon to the United States. Klemtu Spirit is locally grown here. We process it here Monday to Friday. The Mowi plant, in cooperation with Kitasoo, has employed 87% from the village locally between the farms and the processing plant here. It employs a lot of the single moms in town, a lot of our elder peoples. Basically anybody is allowed to work here that lives in the village. Our oldest employee is Clifford, who is into his 80s, so he works whatever hours he can. We're just lucky to have him. Ruth is also, we don't say a lady's age, but she's an elder here, any age, we hire them.
The majority of the people in Kitasoo Nation, I remember when they were born, mostly call me Papa or Uncle. I came home from the city after working all over the place because the fishing industry died. 2009, I came home. When I arrived home, the place had developed. We discussed the hatchery, and that hatchery I managed and constructed without a blueprint from our knowledge of constructing homes. Today, it's on a 1.5 million quota per year under the management of my son. He's running it now. Fish plant put to work a lot of people, a lot of young people. It's become a family. Been enjoying living here and working here. When I left home, there was nothing. West Coast people living here, we know where to get our food that others didn't know. So we survived that way. Now there's work here if you want to work. I have one cousin, he's an elder as well, Ruth, you probably know her. She was the first one to work every day. You know. I've got messages on the messenger from youngsters checking up on me because you know I'm working. How are you? You know, I'll continue to try to keep up, or if they can keep up with me. My advice to some of the young people is don't stop, keep going, listen to the elders. They know because they're elders for a reason. They survived with the knowledge they have from their ancestors. I was a hunter, a fisherman, and a logger. Right now, I'm just a grandfather and a father with amazing people around me supporting me.
When it comes to industry itself and moving forward with industry partners we were able to create, you have organizations like the NCIAF, which were able to support and be a part of the overall values and perspectives of agriculture and how aquaculture fits within that. So when it comes down to the development and partnerships, they're able to create solid foundations and we're able to move forward and move the overall envelope to have more progressive conversations.
I just think that Klemtu is a really beautiful, close-knit community where you come in and you can't help but to fall in love with the place. You fall in love with the people, you fall in love with the landscape and the territory. Just a very special little hidden treasure on the coast.